Hello you guys, Braxis here, and I'm going to be playing a little bit of Space Engine. And I'm going to start this episode off by saying we hit 50 subscribers today. Actually, we're up to 52 now, but that is awesome, and I greatly appreciate that. Like, that is legitimately awesome. So, we are starting off at a familiar planet. This hell planet that I found with the beautiful black rings. I don't really have anything to really look for today, so I'm just going to go at random and see what I can find. Well, let's go over to 13 Monocerotis. That's what it says. Alright, close the star map, and let's see what planets we got here. We have a Scorched Desert, Scorched Desert, Scorched Desert, Scorched Desert, Hot Selena, and another Hot Selena. So everything around this star is very hot. Yeah, in fact, everything around here has comet tails and stuff. So let's go over to this Selena far out. This one is 476 degrees, and it's got, again with the craters. See, I assume these are probably like packed with ice or something, but that's just simply not true because they exist on hotter planets. Now, I've been told these are craters and they're kicking up material, but that makes me question why they're all white. Like, wouldn't it be logical that you could have these in different colors than just white? Like, wouldn't the material that's not on the surface buried in that crater be able to like eject outwards? Would it possibly brown or red or black? Like, I would imagine it could be anything, not just white. So I never really understood that. I've mentioned this before, but it's like I don't really understand these things at all. Unless, does this planet have an atmosphere? It does not show a composition on the chart right there. And I'm not seeing any signs of an atmosphere when I land on it. So let's go ahead and go to this. Actually, let's go to this Scorched Desert since it is 1300 degrees Celsius. And it's not even tidally locked. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. It's taking a moment to load in, but let's go ahead and fly in slowly and get these clouds all loaded in. Oh. Okay, I'll correct this in just a moment, but I'm actually playing this in 4K. I just noticed that. Whoops. So those black bars on the top and bottom of the screen will disappear in just a moment. So we got some mountains, and we actually have a pretty dense atmosphere, which makes sense. There's probably a pretty big greenhouse effect going on, since this is actually the third planet from this star. So yeah, it must have like a pretty big greenhouse effect going on. We got water, we got carbon dioxide. Yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah, there's definitely greenhouse gases going on, and I was checking the diameter and stuff. So yeah, this is I think this is actually smaller than Earth. I could be wrong about that. And we got a beautiful purple landscape, so render in. I'm gonna have to change the resolution a bit because one problem with owning a GTX 970 and playing this game at 4K is I actually do run out of video RAM, and it will actually literally shut off my computer if I run out of VRAM. So let's speed up time and let's see if we can get a good sunset. I want to see what the sunset looks like on this planet because the atmosphere is pretty interesting. There you go, you just had a nice blue fade, and actually, if I pause this here, if I can, hurry up. Where's the bar? Too late. We're going for another round. I can't get the bar to pop up at the bottom. Well, what I was going to say is there's this really nice blue glow around the planet itself when it's nighttime. And there it goes, went full nighttime. But you may have noticed the galaxy there is like red when it fades through this. Like all the things in the sky are like a nice red, even though the sky is actually blue. There. So that's interesting. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump cut right now. I'm going to set the game to its proper resolution, so give me just a minute. Okay, I am back. You should no longer see bars on the top and bottom, and now I'm running the game at 2560 by 1440, which, if you guys didn't know, that is quad HD, so it's 4 times 720p, which makes it scale really nicely when you're actually encoding videos, because that is actually 4 times 720p. And that is just what I choose to play the game at. It makes a nice 25-inch window on my TV, so it makes it very easy to actually see stuff. Wow, not killing my poor little video card. We got a blue giant over here with 8 planets around it, one of which is nice and glowing, being cooked to a nice golden purple. Looks like it has a really dense atmosphere. I cannot tell if that's actually... It is not tidally locked. So let's go ahead and go into this atmosphere and see what we can see. Oh wow, that is... if you guys have ever played Hotline Miami, this has like this 80s retro color to it. It has like yellow, pink, and blue and stuff. Oh man, this looks like some 80s stuff going on here. I must have collided into something because my velocity stopped. These clouds look really interesting. Oh wait, I just noticed this was a gas giant. I thought this was a planet. Okay, yeah, so this is a gas giant, but it has some really interesting colors going on. This is... Yeah, if you want to visit this, the ID is up here in the corner as always, but this is a really interesting gas giant, and it has like these super detailed like spirals on it that are, if I could fly into them, they're 3D, so they're actually like kind of bumped up, as you could tell. I was wondering what was up with this. I thought it was a planet with a super dense atmosphere. No, this is a gas giant. A very, very interesting one, mind you. And it is right there next to its star, which means it has a tail. So it's slowly being cooked away. All of its matter, or some of, like its surface matter, is being basically shot out into the, I guess, into deep space. What is that? Is it a gas giant over there? We're gonna have to go check this one out. This is this really, really huge gas giant. This is not small. Which illuminates nicely behind the star. And if I zoom in, I don't think it's gonna have like that super detail there. I think it's gonna look, yeah, it looks kind of textured and like artistic like. As you can see. And let's check out its moons. So it has a scorched desert, scorched Selena. So let's go to the desert. Okay, this is a super hot desert. As you can tell, the when you see red on the back of a planet, that means it's basically molten. So let's go ahead and zoom in and see what we can spot. Okay, so immediately the atmosphere almost looks Earth-like. In fact, the compositions are pretty close. Not quite spot on. It looks like it would be rather toxic, but got like H2O and carbon dioxide and stuff you would find in our current atmosphere. We got a really interesting cloud layer up here. Actually, let's fly up and check this out. Is that actually three-dimensional, or is that... That is actually three-dimensional. Look at that. That is a very interesting looking cloud layer. Sorry for the jump cut, I got distracted. As I was saying, this planet has a really interesting looking cloud layer. In fact, the cloud layer almost looks like terrain itself. I mean, look at that. So, I mean, obviously there was like a bumping thing going on here, and then like the texture limited itself to its height or whatever. That's kind of what happens when you mess around in like sandbox engines and cap off the height of the terrain that you're raising up or lowering and stuff, and then it'll just kind of cut off like that. So that's kind of what that looks like. That's kind of a hard explanation, but let's say you're making a hill, and then you put a cap on the limit of how high that can get. But all the dips and stuff kind of just keep going up, and then like it eventually cuts off as if you just saw the top off of a mountain. Kind of what that looks like. And then if I turn around the right way down, you can see that everything's just blue, but this is actually not liquid below me. This is, in fact, terrain. It looks like it's an ocean, but it's not. It's just a lovely blue planet with a cool looking sky. So let's see if I can find the star, which I think is off in this direction. Okay, so there's the star. It appears to be diffused by the atmosphere, from what I could tell, so you can't actually see the star at all. As I get closer, though, it does actually turn like a yellow hue. Where is the star? But it is actually, I think it's a blue star. Am I correct? Yeah, it's a blue giant, but it gets a yellow hue as I get closer to the atmosphere. Also gets that pink effect that was on that gas giant. So yeah, we got a volcano here. It's got a nice purple hue to it. It's messing with the white balance of the game, I think, and it's actually making the red look almost purple. And the cloud layer is not the end of the atmosphere. You got a nice blue fade up here as you come above the cloud layer, and when you fly around, it looks really good. Sorry for so many jump cuts. Got an animal running around, just making so much noise, but I let him out of the room. Anyways, as I was saying, this planet has a really cool looking cloud layer above it. We're still like in the atmosphere, so you get like, you see this nice faded blue, but we got this lovely looking cloud layer, and we got a lot of things actually orbiting this star. So if I actually hit play, I appear to be in the top area, and let's just increase the speed and get out of this orbit. You can actually see all these things orbiting the star. Let me turn down the luminosity and the magnitudes so we could actually see the planets all just kind of dancing around the star over there. So that is really awesome looking. Anyways, you want to visit the retro 80s looking solar system, or system rather. This is definitely the star you want to visit, which is HIP 33729 up here in the top left corner. Anyways, let's see what else we can find. Let's try to find something with... Whoa, wait a minute. We found an orange dwarf with 4 planets with life over here. Let's go ahead and slow down the game. And let's see what we can find. Okay, look at that. So we get a gas giant with aerial life, so I'm assuming some type of airborne type of bacteria or something like that. I don't understand how it'd actually be able to survive, since this is actually composing of mostly helium and hydrogen. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful looking planet. We got a nice kind of tan. Got like a tan, white, and blue effect going on here. And as always, the blue looks lovely in the reflections, and it makes it look almost like it's being illuminated with some kind of neon or something like that. And we have this beautiful white storm over here. And it's also one of those type of planets that have the really three-dimensional looking clouds that you can just kind of fly through. So that's awesome. Oh, these ones go really deep. So yeah, it's this is a really cool looking gas giant. I actually like the way this one looks. Let's go over into this white area here. See, this I can't believe is actually randomly generated, but I guess it is. The twirling effects on this look phenomenal. Like, this looks awesome. I assume it's just kind of stretching a texture around, but yeah, this is an awesome looking gas giant. The details are like really standing out, or like really popping. Here's like a little cyclone right here, like a storm. Definitely a beautiful one. So apparently that has life on it. Over here we have a cool desert with life, with terrestrial life. So that means we should be able to see the plant life on the surface. We got a beautiful ring, and my god, this is an awesome looking planet. Holy. Is this like some kind of snow right here? So we got oxygen and CO2 on this desert. And yeah, it looks like we actually have some type of frost of some kind over here. The atmosphere looks like it is a kind of thin atmosphere. Pretty blue. And it's really making this stand out. Let's do this. Let's go into the settings here and change the brightness to real planet brightness. So there we go. Now we're seeing what light would actually be illuminated from that star on this planet. So this is what it should, quote unquote, look like. Of course, the extent of the engine, what it can recreate, but okay, so we just got some random hilly terrain. I'm assuming that's part of the snow. It just isn't quite texture over that. If we look around, maybe we could actually find this terrestrial life, which I think that's what I just found. I think I've actually, no, I have seen this texture. I just haven't seen it in this color. When it's this purple color, this actually looks really awesome. Okay, is there any hills or anything that we can visit, or is this mostly just flat terrain? Looks like a lot of this planet is just like covered in this texture. Yeah, there's even more of it. Definitely a cool looking planet. Is there some down in this crater? There certainly is. And there's some mountains, which are actually looking really interesting. They kind of have a gold color to them, like a gold and silver. Let me get closer to this so you can see what I'm talking about. Check that out. Wow. I think where's our star here? Let's just pause the game here, because I always like to do this. Let's increase the exposure. No, let's not increase the exposure. Let's go to the settings here. Turn off real planet brightness. No, actually, let's keep that on. That looks better that way. And change that to be nice and bright. And let's slow down the game and fast forward a little bit and get a nice speed going. Okay. And here's our sunrise on this planet. And there we go. You see that? That, you people, is how you make a thumbnail. So yeah, there's the thumbnail for the video. This is a beautiful looking planet. I think this one generated really nicely. So I mean, in terms of planets that are not hell, I have to say this is probably up there in my top 10 planets that I've found so far. This is really a great looking planet. Even like when you get up close, the details are pretty much all there, but once you actually zoom out, it is a very artistic looking planet. This looks like something you'd see in like some, I don't know, space documentary concept art thing, you know? Like some, I don't know, artist rendition, graphical illustration, something like that of like some weird life harboring exoplanets. So yeah, this is actually, I really like the way this planet generated. And if you want to visit it, the ID is up here in the top left corner. Go ahead and pause the video and just type it into SpaceEngine. If you're on version 0.9.8.0, you should be good to actually load this planet and actually visit it yourself. Anyways, let's see what other planets have life in this little system. We have a cold ice world. That's the gas giant itself, which it has subglacial ice world. Yeah, it has an ice world with subglacial life, so that means it's probably not visible. From my experience, subglacial is not visible life, so it doesn't actually render a texture for that. Not that I could tell. The planet itself, the ice here, actually looks a lot like ice. Like if you ever gone like into the snow and just seen compact snow on like mud and all that, this is kind of what it looks like. And we got a huge crater right here. This is just a giant, like, yeah, this is a large crater right here. Is that the Orion Nebula? That is the Orion Nebula. Yeah. Okay. We have another gas giant with aerial life. Again, consisting of helium and hydrogen, and this one is a nice brown color. It's got like a little, it's a chocolate planet. It's a planet made of pure chocolate. Like, this is like hazelnut spread right here, and this is like just milk chocolate. So that's what we got going on here. It's kind of blending up right here, as you can tell. So yeah, I mean, why wouldn't there be life on this planet? All life likes chocolate. You know what? Actually, before I leave this planet, I wonder what kind of filling it has. Let's go ahead and slow down here. Oh. Oh. I think it's dark chocolate. And let's see what else we got orbiting around this star. We have a gas giant. We have a hot desert over here, which looks like it's going to be your standard blue and pink. No, it is actually not. And we also have this little asteroid here. Actually, a pretty big asteroid eclipsing it right here. So let's go where the eclipse is. Imagine if Earth had a view like this. It is It's shadowing, like the star is back there behind that asteroid. But there's just a black spot in the sky and you can just see the asteroid there. That's really funny looking. And, whoops, flew too far. You can see the clouds also are darker where it's like at the edges of the eclipse here. If I pull off to the side, yep, you can see the eclipse. Look at that. That is awesome looking. I don't think I've actually seen an eclipse look that cool in this game yet. Of course, I actually don't run into a lot of eclipses. They're not too... I mean, I'm sure they're common if I sit there and play with the time settings a lot, but... yeah, I never actually just find them randomly, so... yeah, that's really cool. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I've been asked probably three or four times to visit a Zirconium star. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly look one up and I'll see if I can get one loaded here. Okay, so in my search, I found something very interesting. This binary system here has 4 planets with life, but it also has 2 planemos, or rogue planets. So let's check out this dwarf planet over here. Wait, we can't because it's pitch black. It's a frozen ice world, so I mean that's awesome. But we also have this super large gas giant. Yeah, it's totally awesome. It has a huge ring system. It's not even, like, that's a massive ring system. So yeah, I just clicked on it because I was like, oh look, a star with like 19 planets and like 4 with life. So I mean that's gotta be pretty cool. And it turns out it actually has 2 rogue planets near it. And I don't know why. So if you actually want to visit this system, there is the ID right there. But let's check out those planets with life real quick. And yes, I still plan to find a Zirconium star by the end of this episode. It's actually a bunch of gas giants with life. Apparently this has life. Aerial life. Okay. And I guess we have life on this chocolate planet right here. This one's actually a nice caramel color. And if you're a big caramel fan, then this is definitely your planet right here. Got something you'd get at some coffee shop or some shit. And over here we have a tidally locked planet is what it looks like, and it has life. Oh wow, that is an awesome looking planet right there. So, I mean, on the plus side, I just kind of jumped into this episode, but I found some really awesome planets this time. Look at that, look at those hills. Zoom into that and check those out. So there's our parenting star right there, nice and bright and very detailed. And we have these awesome canyons going on. And the way the star actually illuminates these makes them look really cool. Yeah, that's definitely really awesome looking like texture they got going on here. And we have some marine and terrestrial life, so let's see if we can find the life on this planet. Is there life over here? There's life over here. I think so. Yeah, look at that. We got like some looks like grass texture going on here. Yeah, let's see if I can go like across over to here where it's much hotter. Okay, so we still have grass texture. So something tells me that when you end up with a planet that has life, it doesn't actually define it to portions of the planet where it would actually be survivable. Because over here where this storm is from being tidally locked, this would actually be incredibly hot right here. But if I zoom in, it looks like, yeah, we still have the life textures going on. So it's not limited to areas that specifically can actually maintain life. It's just, if it has life, it just throws a texture. It just adds it in, it looks like. So, that's interesting. Can't get over the fact that I just found like a rogue planet out here. That's very cool. I've never actually found one of these on my own, so I'm proud of myself. Hooray. We got a really dim looking brown dwarf over here. Oh wow, that's actually really cool. It's got like some nice bright stripes going through it, but it also has these lovely pink aurora. Looks like it's wearing a crown. So I was told in the comments that it would be specifically a carbon star. So I'm running a search within 500 light years, and these are the carbon stars I've come across. So let's go to... Oh. The first one I click on is a zirconium star. Okay, well, let's go. Is this the zirconium star? I assume so. It has a very... No, it's a yellow dwarf. Are you the zirconium star? Hit F2. We got a yellow dwarf. We have a scorched ice giant over here, apparently. Ooh, you are not very bright. You are actually a very dark gas giant. And you're quite far from your parent star. I can't even see your parent star. That's how far you are from it. You need to go back home. Okay, it looks like I am seeing 2 lens flares here, so let's go ahead and slow down. And I think that might be our zirconium star. Is it? That is the zirconium star. So I don't actually know too much about these. I believe they are like... Well, I guess in the name, like I think they're made of like zirconium, or they have like a zirconium core or something like that. I don't really know. They're apparently super rare. This one's not perfectly round, as you can tell. It kind of has a oval shape. So, yeah. Let me get a little bit of information about these things. So, looks like I have a little bit of information on it. Let me just get this thing spinning so we can just sit here and watch it spin. So, zirconium stars are also known as S-type stars, and they're known for being relatively cool, which, if you actually check the surface temperature of this planet, or star, rather, it's actually almost as cool as some planets get. So, I mean, it's 2,800 degrees. That's still very hot, obviously, to our standards, but for a star, this is really cool. In fact, the sun is somewhere around like 6,000 or like 9,000 or something like that. The sun is really warm compared to this thing, so that's interesting. So these were apparently recognized as carbon stars, which is probably why they are seen that way in the game. They are actually carbon stars, but instead of being carbon and like diamond and stuff, they're actually made of zirconium. And they apparently have equal quantities of carbon and oxygen in its atmosphere. So just zoom in and see if we could actually see some details here and just kind of slow this down. So here we go. Let's see if there's any more information I can find on these. So these are not very luminous because they're not very hot. They're not too bright. Type stars are intermediate between carbon stars and normal giants. They can be grouped into 2 classes: intrinsic S stars, which owe their spectra of convection of fusion products of S process elements to the surface, and intrinsic S stars, which are formed through mass transfer in a binary system. So mass transfer in a binary system would be like a gravitational force kind of inhaling from like another star, I believe, like kind of just absorbing its mass, if I'm correct. I could be completely wrong about that, but I do believe that's what that is. The carbon stars have more carbon than oxygen in the atmosphere. In most stars, such as Class M giants, the atmosphere is richer in oxygen than carbon. They are referred to as oxygen-rich stars. S-type stars are intermediate between carbon stars and normal giants. Okay. So apparently in 2010 they've found an actual and documented a zirconium star. So that is interesting. And the team made the discovery while looking for chemical clues that explain why a small group of stars reaching the end of their lives, known as helium-rich hot subdwarfs, have less hydrogen on their surfaces than other similar stars, using data obtained by the Australian telescope at the Siding Springs Observatory in New South Wales. The team looked at the evolved star LSIV 14116, which, give me a moment, I'm actually going to see if that is actually in the game. So let's see if I could actually find this star in particular that they're actually talking about. Okay, so I don't think it's actually in the game. Yeah, that's... I don't see it at all. The team made a discovery while looking for chemical clues that explain why a small group of stars reaching the end of their lives, known as helium-rich subdwarfs. I think I've already read this section. basically what's going on is there is, as it says here, with this information, a team measured that zirconium abundance LS 414 to be 100 times as high as the sun, meaning that there is one atom in every 200,000 zirconium. One atom in every 200,000 is zirconium, rather than 1 to 2 billion. Most stars, like the sun, have about 10 zirconia atoms for every million silicon atoms. LS 414 has 2 million zirconium atoms for every 1 million silicon atoms. It is estimated that zirconium layers seen in LS 414 would weigh about 4 billion tons, or 4,000 times the world's annual production of zirconium. So if you don't know what zirconium actually is, it is actually a material that is used to make fake diamonds, essentially. It is the glass kind of material that is... It's used to replicate diamonds, but it does not actually represent how hard a diamond is. It just kind of represents its sheen and look. So, yeah, it was very interesting finding one of these. Let's see if I could actually find another one and see if they managed to actually look different at all. Okay, so we found another one. It's actually the second one on the list. Seems like if I just search for carbon stars, these are actually pretty common. Well, I mean, they're not common, but they are pretty easy to come across as long as you use the search feature. Which this one looks effectively the same. It has the same texture and stuff going on. So let's keep going and see if we can find like a different texture for this kind of star. That one's just a carbon star, carbon star. There's a zirconium star over there. And this one is actually looking a lot more red. Ooh, there we go. That's a cool looking star. And we got a gas giant orbiting very close to this thing. But it's not actually outputting a lot of heat, so I don't think this... Oh, that's not a gas giant. That's not a gas giant at all. That's a white main sequence star. Why did I think that was a gas giant? Okay, never mind. Disregard what I said. I was going to say it doesn't have a comet tail, but never mind. Which, yeah, this is effectively the same type of star, just has a much more red hue to it. And I think all the zirconium stars generate with this texture, and that's the wrong menu. Going to close that out, and let's see if we can find another one. That is a carbon star, zirconium star. Let's go to this one. And this one has the same thing going on, but it's at a much higher frequency, so it has a bunch of smaller, like, little pockets on it. And as you can tell, it has something right here definitely burning away and being absorbed from the star, which is a scorched desert. It's not having a good time. Oh, there's another thing there. So we got kind of like a little bit of a yin-yang thing going on here. So that's really cool. So just to confirm it, let's find one more. We got one more off in the distance over here. Actually not too far out. Same texture. So I think all zirconium stars generate with this texture, it looks like. Nonetheless, that's pretty cool. I hope I didn't spool up the information too much on zirconium stars. I don't actually know too much about them. I was just kind of reading off a wiki and an article that I found, but apparently the first one that was actually officially discovered was in 2010. And what are these two red objects back here? What is that? What is that? Oh, it's a Christmas tree nebula. You're visible. It's not visible at all. Where are you? I can hardly see it. Oh well. Barnard's loop over here again. And let's just visit this star for that little bit. Cool looking. We got something with purple rings, it looks like, over here. Yep. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and slow this down. In an effort to try to keep this video short, I'm going to end it here. If you guys like the video, leave it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. It really does help. And we'll see you guys in the next video.